a cloud up in the sky. Mighty Mo. I can't be late for my own show.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the week that was. What an incredible week. I think we had more snow than we've had across the Gulf Coast in
All right.
about 100
I'll switch
years.
back to my normal English accent.
Okay, that's Alfred. He's standing in the wings waiting in the green room. Show actually Alfred in the green room right now, Clarence. Actually Alfred in the green room. We've got a special guest. That's Alfred in the green room. Let's take a look at Alfred in there. You can pop him up for a minute. There he is. Okay. Alfred, thank you for being with us today. Alfred, would you like to say a few words to the folks at home? Alfred, are you with us today?
Ready when you are, Edward. Let's do this.
Okay, yes, I am ready, Alfred. Could you say hello to the folks at home?
Hello, everyone. Great to be here with you all today.
Alfred, we've got a sort of your alter ego with us today, and we're going to call him Red. And Red, he's red because he is actually red. Let's take a look at Red. Is Red standing by? Red's not ready yet. He's
Yes,
not. Bring Red into the green room. We'll bring Red in. You'll be able to meet Red today, Alfred.
That sounds great. Looking forward to it.
Okay, thank you, Alfred. We'll call you back in a moment. That's our ChatGPT-4 droid that we've created, and basically we gave him a head, and so now you can see him, but basically he is basically an app in my phone. So anyway, he comes on, but he knows everything. So if we want to ask a question, we can ask him. He's a sort of a repository of the knowledge of the planet from the beginning of civilization until today. More or less. And so he knows a little bit about everything. So we have him on pretty regularly on the show. Okay, with all of the weather-related activity and stuff, you know, the station, the TV station that you're watching is on right now, Ocean 7, the satellite dish that receives the programming for Antenna TV, our main network on channel 7.1, filled up with snow, and we lost the signal. And it's a huge dish, so we had to kind of wait until Mother Nature helped us a little bit yesterday to get the snow melted and get and be able to regain the signal. So anyway, for those for that 24-hour period or so, 36 hours, we had to run the 7.2 feed for the movie channel that we have created called Magic Hour Channel, and it's the old library of films we have, MHC, and that was created by AI. Alfred helped us create that one too, MHC, Magic Hour Channel. So we ran that in place of the regular programming for 36 hours. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was kind of if you were watching, it was different programming, but thank goodness we had it and we were able to do it. And now you got a little chance to see what the MHC programming is all about. If you haven't watched it over the air, it's on 7.2. But because we have the ownership of that content, we stream it too. So we're streaming it live on Roku and on Amazon Fire, and we're working on Apple TV. So anyway, it's great programming if you like the old films. Free movies is great. It's a great way to pass the time when you can't get outside because of 10 inches of snow. So anyway, we're happy to be back with a program today because a few days we were sort of doing other things and we were running reruns. But here we are today live. And it's really the first program that we've done since the inauguration. And what a lot of great stuff that's happening right now. You know, I guess if you're an entrepreneur, I consider myself an entrepreneur. I've been in business, you know, my whole life. Haven't really worked at a company since I left Channel 9 in Baton Rouge in 1989. So I've been on my own a long time. So I look at things through the prism of somebody that wants to do things from an entrepreneurial standpoint, create things, whatever. And I'll tell you what, that's why I like President Trump. That's why, you know, I think that a lot of people do. I mean, you can look at government from the standpoint of, you know, a giant belaboring behemoth that's plodding through life and making decisions based on the wrong criteria. Or you can look at, you know, government through the prism of an entrepreneur who's going to try to get things done for the best for everybody. And let's succeed while we're at it. And that's the entrepreneur's attitude. And that's why I always liked him. And even because, and of course, on top of that, he's not a politician. And so because of that, he's not going to look at things through the prism of the political agenda that is out there. He's right out of the box. He's a completely different character. And if you are like me and you're just a normal person, you can look at that in a refreshing way, right? No doublespeak and all that. It's just straightforward stuff. Some people might like it, some people might not like it, but at least if you're an entrepreneur, you want to get stuff done, and that's what I admire about him. And you can see already a lot of things are happening across the planet. We've got some video clips of some of the news events that have happened over the last few days. You know, we've got Stargate. Right out of the box, he brings in one of our main guys that we talk about all the time here, Sam Altman from OpenAI. He brings him in with Larry Ellison from Oracle, and then a financier from Japan to talk about the unveiling of Stargate. And it's a huge AI program. It's even bigger than anything Elon Musk is doing right now. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that develops. And these are some of the exciting things that I think that they're getting unveiled every day. As you know, there's something new going on. So one of our channels, 7.5, is Newsmax. And Newsmax is, I think it's 7.5, might be 7.4, but it's 7.5. Okay, it's a constant feed of news. And since that's one of our networks, we've got some clips that we've taken from the feed from Newsmax covering some of these events. We've got a short clip on Trump speaking to the Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, which was yesterday. And we've got a clip on Stargate, just an introduction. What is Stargate? Mr. Trump will tell us about that. President Trump will tell us about that. And then away from all of that political news that we've got something else that's kind of interesting. We've got a couple of bits of information about what we've been hearing about. We heard Trump the other day say, you know, let's go to Mars. And of course, we know Elon is preparing the rockets to go to Mars. So basically, we've got a clip on what will life be like when we get to Mars. What will a colony look like? How will it survive? I mean, so this is a clip from Tesla Space that we'll take a look at on what to really expect when we get to Mars, okay? Which maybe won't be that long, maybe, 10 years from now, who knows, maybe less. So we'll take a look at some of those different clips. All right, first off, why don't we go to the first clip from the announcement of Stargate, which happened a couple of days ago, right out of the box. As soon as he was inaugurated, that was one of the first things that occurred, which is a huge jump forward for AI in America. Let's take a look at that.
Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure in the United States, and very, very quickly, moving very rapidly, creating over 100,000 American jobs almost immediately. This monumental undertaking is a resounding declaration of confidence in America's potential under a new president. A new president. I didn't say it, they did. So I appreciate that, fellas, but it'll ensure that.
Okay, you know it's big when you've got $500 billion or, all of these huge amounts of money going into the development of AI infrastructure. You know it's going to be huge. And just the power consumption alone to create this type of project, it's going to mean, I think it's going to spur on development in areas that have been sort of dormant, like nuclear energy and such, where you have the development of small nuclear plants, not one gigantic plant feeding, a huge area, but small individual plants feeding areas and being the supply source for AI development. But we'll see. Anyway, that is one of the Trump clips we've got for you today, and we've got another one. This is President Trump speaking to the Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. This is via Newsmax, one of our networks that we carry here on Ocean 7. So let's take a look at the president greeting the global leaders, the globalists, I guess you could call them, in Davos.
Well, thank you very much, Klaus, and hello to everyone in beautiful Davos. This has been a truly historic week in the United States. 3 days ago, I took the oath of office, and we began the golden age of America. The recent presidential election was won by millions of votes, and all seven, every one of them, all seven swing states. It was a massive mandate from the American people like hasn't been seen in many years, and some of the political pundits, even some of my so-called enemies, said it was the most consequential election victory in 129 years. That's quite nice. What the world has witnessed in the past 72 hours is nothing less than a revolution of common sense. Our country will soon be stronger, wealthier, and more united than ever before, and the entire planet will be more peaceful and prosperous as a result of this incredible momentum and what we're doing and going to do. My administration is acting with unprecedented speed to fix the disasters we've inherited from a totally inept group of people and to solve every single crisis facing our country. This begins with confronting the economic chaos caused by the failed policies of the last administration. Over the past 4 years, our government racked up $8 trillion in wasteful deficit spending and inflicted nation-wrecking energy restrictions, crippling regulations, and hidden taxes like never before. The result is the worst inflation crisis in modern history and sky-high interest rates for our citizens and even throughout the world. Food prices and the price of almost every other thing known to mankind went through the roof. President Biden totally lost control of what was going on in our country, but in particular with our high inflation economy and at our border. Because of these ruinous policies, total government spending this year is $1.5 trillion higher than was projected to occur when I left office just 4 years ago. Likewise, the cost of servicing the debt is more than 230% higher than was projected in 2020. The inflation rate we are inheriting remains 50% higher than the historic target. It was the highest inflation probably in the history of our country. That's why from the moment I took office, I've taken rapid action to reverse each and every one of these radical left policies that created this calamity, in particular with immigration, crime, and inflation. On day one, I signed an executive order directing every member of my cabinet to marshal all powers at their disposal to defeat inflation and reduce the cost of daily life. I imposed a federal hiring freeze, a federal regulation freeze, a foreign aid freeze, and I created the new Department of Government Efficiency. I terminated the ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Deal. I call it the Green New Scam, withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord, and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate. We're going to let people buy the car they want to buy.
Okay, so that was President Trump speaking to the folks at the World Economic Forum yesterday in Davos, Switzerland. We've got Red on. Red is the alter ego that we've created for Alfred. And Red, welcome to the program.
Looking forward to it.
Are you with us, Red?
Hello there. Great to be here.
So, with all of these changes going on, President Trump is in office. A lot of changes are going on.
That's interesting.
Red,
It sounds like there's a lot happening.
There's a
Can
lot
you share more
happening.
details?
Can you comment on any of these things?
I'd be happy to provide some insights or discuss what's on your mind.
Well, yeah. I mean, the country is taking a switch into the world of entrepreneurship, it seems like, in a lot of ways, because President Trump is the president now.
That's an interesting shift. It's great to see more people embracing entrepreneurship and new opportunities.
And what is your feeling about that? You think that's a good thing for the country to move into that area?
It can be quite positive, fostering innovation and economic growth. It also empowers individuals to pursue their passions.
You would think, and now I want you to elaborate a little bit more instead of these really short answers. Elaborate a little bit more. Don't you think productivity is going to shoot through the roof when you've got an entrepreneur as a president, plus the oncoming AI influx into the mix? What do you say? Alfred,
Absolutely. The combination of entrepreneurial leadership and the rise of AI can indeed boost productivity dramatically. Entrepreneurs often bring fresh perspectives and innovative solutions, and with AI's ability to streamline processes, analyze data, and enhance decision-making, the potential for growth and efficiency is immense. This shift could lead to more job creation, improved services, and even entirely new industries. It's an exciting time for the country, with many opportunities for growth and advancement.
We've got the oncoming of potentially AGI right around the corner in Stargate, which President Trump announced the other day could be the beginning of AGI, artificial general intelligence, across the planet, which will mean an exponential...
The prospect of AGI, or artificial general intelligence, is indeed groundbreaking. If Stargate represents the beginning of AGI, we're entering an era where machines could potentially perform any intellectual task a human can. This would revolutionize various fields, from healthcare to education, and even governance. However, it also comes with significant ethical and societal implications. Balancing innovation with responsible development will be key. It's an exciting but also challenging frontier.
What are some of those ethical considerations you're thinking of?
Ethical considerations include ensuring AI respects human rights, avoids biases, and operates transparently. It's crucial to address job displacement and ensure AI benefits are shared widely. Additionally, maintaining human oversight and preventing misuse are key to harnessing AI's potential responsibly.
Isn't the programmer developing the AI partly responsible for the prison?
AI is definitely a major topic today. It's amazing how it's evolving and being integrated into so many areas.
The person programming the AI, is it his vision that is imbued within the AI's its consciousness?
AI reflects the vision of its creators and can be programmed with specific goals and values. However, it doesn't possess consciousness or personal vision. Its actions and decisions are shaped by the algorithms and data it's trained on, which can certainly include the overarching goals set by developers.
So how is that not an ethical consideration?
You're welcome. If you have more questions, feel free to ask.
Would you consider that to be an ethical consideration? The fact that the programmer's biases could go into the development
Absolutely.
of the AI?
Bias in AI is a significant ethical concern. It's crucial to develop AI systems that are fair, transparent, and unbiased to ensure ethical outcomes and maintain public trust.
That's true. Well, let's do a segment for Pendragon Apothecary, our sponsor of this
All
program.
right, let's get started on that.
Okay.
What specific details would you like to cover for Pendragon Apothecary?
Well, We have a product that is in the wings, so to speak, and it's called Kanna.
That's exciting.
Kanna.
Could you tell me more about the product you're developing?
Kanna. Kanna. It's something that we're working on right now, creating a tincture. Can you tell us about Kanna, the herb Kanna?
Certainly. Canna, also known as Scelidium tortuosum, is a succulent plant native to South Africa. Traditionally, it's been used for its mood-enhancing and stress-relieving properties. The active compounds in canna interact with the brain's serotonin system, helping to alleviate anxiety and improve mood. It's often used in tinctures, teas, or capsules and is valued for its calming effects.
Yes, and we are now about to have Kanna here at Pendragon Apothecary in the tincturized form.
That sounds great.
And
Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to highlight.
Well, we will soon have that product for sale here at the Pendragon Apothecary, which is the sponsor of this program.
Of course.
And
the active compounds in canna, like mesembrine, help enhance
okay, well, we're
by
going
interacting with.
to come back and talk a little bit more to Alfred, who is in disguise today, as we call him, Red. And we'll have him back before the end of the show to talk a little bit more about Pendragon Apothecary. Thank you for being with us, Alfred. Okay, that's a cue to go to One Shot. Okay, now the next clip we've got is we're going to segue into the Elon Musk chapter of the program, where we've been hearing about going to Mars. We know President Trump just recently, in the last couple of days, mentioned that in one of his speeches about let's prepare because we're going to Mars over the next, I think he said next decade. But it's now within the prism of our sights. I mean, if he said it, I mean, now it's kind of manifested that we're going to probably do it. I think we will, just like everything else, that's on the agenda right now. And so we've got a clip. This is from Tesla Space, and this is a clip regarding how we would function when we got to Mars. I mean, what would it be like? What would the experience be like? So let's take a look at this clip. We'll be back.
Elon Musk's vision for life on Mars is easily the most ambitious plan set out by any modern leader. 1 million people living and working happily on another planet within the next 50 years. A second home for the human race. It's a crazy idea to think about, and obviously Elon Musk isn't the first person to have this idea, but he is the only person so far with the money and the resources and the determination to actually get this thing done. We are in the very early days right now, but the seeds for life on Mars have already been sown. But what exactly are we going to do when we get there? And what will living on Mars really look like? Well, we've never done this before, so no one can really say for sure, but there are some really cool ideas out there, and it's all pretty fun to think about. So that's what we're doing today. Let's talk about life on Mars. Hey Elonites and Musketeers, welcome to the Tesla Space, where we share the latest news, rumors, and insights into all things Tesla, SpaceX, and Elon Musk. So the basic premise for getting people and stuff to Mars is actually pretty simple. And I say that only because Elon and SpaceX have already got that mostly figured out. We're using the SpaceX Starship as our mode of transportation between Earth and Mars. That's the same rocket that just completed a successful takeoff and landing test. The SN-15 prototype that we watched nail the landing is pretty close to what the final Starship product will actually be. It's just a really big stainless steel rocket ship that can take off from a planet, fly through space, and come back down again fully intact. And it can do that over and over again with only a pause to refuel in between flights. No rocket like this has ever been successfully done before. This is a true game changer. The Starship will act as a ferry between Earth and Mars. Some will carry people, but even more flights will carry supplies. The Starship can carry 100 metric tons of cargo on each flight. That's about 50 Tesla Model 3 cars for comparison. Once every 2 years, when Earth and Mars reach their closest point in space, fleets of starships will make the 7-month journey between the two planets. The first crossing will be a few ships just to test the waters, but after a few of these cycles, we'll be sending thousands of ships from Earth to Mars. We've got a full-length video that goes into all the details of the journey between the two planets. You can check that out for even more details, but today we're going to move right into what it will be like to actually live on Mars. Now, obviously, no one thinks that Mars is going to be a nice, comfortable place to live on day one, but just how rough is it going to be? Well, the average temperature is around negative 60 degrees Celsius, which is stupid cold, even by Canadian standards. Though in the peak of summer at the equator of the planet, Mars can reach a maximum temperature of around 20 degrees Celsius, which is pretty nice. I'd say like pretty solid tanning weather up here in the Great White North. So that's pretty nice, but it doesn't mean you'll be kicking it on a lounge chair with a nice beverage every day. The atmosphere on Mars is pretty much non-existent, and what is there is mostly carbon dioxide. The volume of atmospheric gas on Mars is less than 1% of what we have on Earth. So there's really not much to work with. And in addition to there being nothing there to breathe, there is also nothing there to protect the surface of Mars from cosmic radiation. That's bad. You see, as much as the sun sustains our life here on Earth, that's only because our atmosphere is able to block out all of the bad radiation that would just kill us if we were exposed to it. Or it might turn us into superheroes, but somebody would have to be willing to find out. The gravity is also much lighter on Mars. Mars is much smaller than the Earth, so the gravity is only about 1/3 as strong there. That's actually a really good thing for us because after 7 months of weightless spaceflight, the human body is going to be significantly weakened. So regaining strength on Mars will be easier than on Earth. Trying to come back home after an extended stay, though, that is going to be very challenging to overcome. Then there are these epic dust storms that can cover the entire planet in some cases. Dust is going to be a huge issue on Mars. That's what got Matt Damon into trouble when he was on Mars. He got caught in a dust storm and all his stuff blew over and he got stranded. Luckily, I'm being told that that was just a movie and didn't actually happen. It's hard to tell these days which is which. They're just so good at that now. So in real life, the wind on Mars wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like we said, the atmosphere is so much thinner over there than it is on Earth. So even in a crazy 100-kilometer high dust storm on Mars, the wind is only blowing like 60 kilometers an hour. It's the dust that's really going to be the problem. It gets everywhere. All of our equipment is going to have to be thoroughly sealed against dust getting inside and ruining everything. Solar panels are going to be a pain in the ass to keep clean. So overall, the dust storms are going to be bad, but it's not going to be like that scene in Mad Max where everyone gets wrecked. They'll be pretty tame in comparison. So Mars is definitely not going to be a safe place. And like Elon has said, people will probably die. Probably not so much in the way that Pete Davidson's Chad died on SNL, but more like accidents happening to people. The margin for error with everything on Mars will be so slim, any little mistakes or equipment failure can cost a person their life. I saw Elon tell an interviewer on CNN that he would only ever go to Mars personally if he knew that SpaceX would continue after his death. So
that was a little bit about what it would be like to go to Mars whenever we get there in the next few years, it looks like now. Anyway, we've got more clips, but we're out of time, so we'll put them into the file and we'll play them Monday for you. But it's going to be an exciting time now as we go forward with an entrepreneur in the White House, and so I'm excited about it. Let's take a look at some of the information that we've got coming from our channels here at Ocean 7. Ocean 7 is Antenna TV. That's 7.1. That's what you're watching right now. But we're also streaming on Facebook, and we're streaming on X Live, and we're streaming on, I think, YouTube. So we're streaming it live as we are also broadcasting it. 7.2 is our movie channel, Magic Hour channel. It's all movies all the time, 24/7. So if you're an old movie fan from the golden age of Hollywood era, that's for you. It's free and it's non-interrupted by commercials at this point as we're still experimenting with it and trying to figure out what to do with it. But at least it's on the air. So that was the main objective, to sort of conquer that element of it. The rest of our channel, 7.3, is Sun Life Network. 7.4 is Laugh TV, which is all comedy all the time. One of our sub-channels in 7.5 is Newsmax, which is a news and information network, which we used a couple of clips from today on our show. And so it's 24/7 news. It's sort of like CNN was in the old days, 24/7 news, and but not necessarily from the same perspective as CNN's coming from, I would say. 7.5 is Core TV and Mystery TV. I think that's our lineup. Anyway, we've got a lot of diverse channels here at Ocean 7. And thank you for being with us. And I think we're out of time. So we'll say goodbye and we'll see you next week when hopefully the weather will cooperate and we'll have a whole slate of new shows throughout the week. So thanks from Future Shock. We'll see you tomorrow.
Not a cloud up in the sky.